I don't know. She didn't text me.
Hey everyone, don't adjust your internet because Puckett's back. It's been a while, Bill. It's been a little bit. But
it has been a while.
While we were gone, the NHL did some stuff. We'll talk about the salary cap and stuff. But we even acquired somebody. Look who's here. He's kind of like Tom Wilson, I guess you would call him. Maybe. I don't know who to compare him to, but hey, Ed.
What's up?
Nothing. Happy you're here.
I'm glad.
I compare him to Lurch from the Adams Family. How about that?
You rang.
Yeah, how much? Yeah. Well, the games have started. I mean, it's been good already. There's a lot more hitting, I noticed. So far in the first two games, it's been a little more. I watched Calgary and Vancouver last night. And the boarding, no one likes boarding. But, there was a lot of it. There's just been some real weird chippy stuff. I don't know if you guys have noticed any of that.
Yeah,
it has. It's weird because I thought you're gonna feel each other around, do stuff like that. Get into a groove. Nope, smack each other in the face right away.
Yeah, Bill.
Hey,
go ahead.
Well, no, I saw the lids. The hat place has a hat that says "Make Hockey Violent Again," and I'm gonna buy that hat. I think, and I'm gonna wear it each and every show.
Yeah. Well, do you think the Four Nations, I think, showed? The people loved it. Everyone loved it. So I wonder if the NHL is letting up a little bit because I've seen a lot going on in almost every game.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the first two my Penguins. I mean, the first two games. I mean, it was very chippy. A lot of hits. A lot of Yeah. I mean, I noticed that. I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, they're really getting it off to I like it. I like physical hockey. I'm all.
I mean, I do. I like the larger eyes. Come on, I want to see these guys fly around. Spending time in Russia, I got to see the KHL. Man, did they fly around there? It's a better product. It is.
You mean Is it more like international? Is that what it is over there? Like the KHL?
Yeah, they have the international ice size. So I mean, it really highlights the ability to skate. And it really highlights, the game. The game is supposed to be a fast game with the puck whipping around. The NHL prides itself on having the best hands in the world, because you're in close and you're in tight. But I don't know, man. A good stretch pass every once in a while is really exciting with that international ice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't call me a goon, call me whatever you want to call it. But I go back to when what was it when the Red Army team played the Flyers in '76?
Broad Street Bullies, baby.
And they literally, Russia was like, "What are these guys doing? Checking us? Why are they doing? Like they never saw this before,
right?"
And it's like, I'm like, I don't know, like I'm more, I like less finesse and more toughness and physicality. That's just me. I mean, that's what I like.
You need it in the game, but I mean, it makes it different because the guys are so big now, right? I mean,
yeah.
You got how many Zdeno Charas do you have now? What, 5, 6, 7?
Well, right. I don't think you have anybody that big.
What's that?
You got
There's no 6'8" guys. I don't think.
Well, Jack Eye for the Canadians. I think he's one of them I can think of.
Buffalo.
Yeah, right. The Tage Thompson. Yeah. And the goalies. Most of the 6'7", 6'8" guys are goalies.
Yeah.
At this point. The goalies become so freaking big. Right?
Yeah.
Goalies.
Longer gone the days of Darren Panger, right? It was 5'5", 150,
Yeah, these goalies are huge now. It's crazy.
They are huge. So something happened while we've been away. And it's something we've been wanting to happen. The salary cap is going up finally since COVID. It's finally starting to, it's been, and teams like Pittsburgh, and I don't know, definitely a team like Pittsburgh. I know Toronto and a few of the others. that COVID really hurt because it kind of froze everything in time, just froze everything. So how do you go on and, how do you add to your team when you already have superstar, you already have the superstars, but you can't really add. Right. So the cap has now gone up. Go ahead, Ed.
I agree with you. What it did is it really relied only on the superstars, and the teams that had aging superstars did not do well. It was the youth that took over. Look at Florida and their youth. I mean, they're going to be at minus Barkov this year, but it's going to be when Tampa Bay was without their Russian all year long. They bring them in at the end and they win the freaking cup. So I'm not feeling bad. I'm not feeling bad for Florida, but I mean that's what it was. The youth was finally served in the NHL, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. Oh, well, we got the Caps at $95.5 million this year, and goes to 104 next, and then Bill Bailey said 113.5 for 27-28 season, but maybe more. So,
well, I mean, this is the problem I have, right? Is that it's not going up in proportion to the amount of money they're making off these TV deals. There's no way. I mean, they've signed massive TV deals. I mean, this cap should be at least $100 million already. I mean, you spent all those years where the owners got to save, right? That's the owners saving. They weren't losing money; they were making money. I mean, the product was fantastic. So this is the problem I have with a lot of these leagues that have high-profile TV deals. I mean, remember the days when we went out? It was the late '80s. You got to see the Western Conference. It was Bill Hansa Clement and Gary Thorne. You came home at midnight. You start watching hockey. Those were the best days, right?
Great.
They're back.
Touche.
Right? They're back now, and even more. I mean, even the regional contracts. I looked it up today. They're even increased. So these teams it's not in proportion. And I'm saying the players, I just think that you could afford to be at $100 million right now in the NHL.
Oh, no. Yeah, no doubt. This should be, you could probably be at 150 even by now.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of, this is just, it's always been a man-made thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just made it.
So
I mean,
this year we're at what, 95.5 million. Next year I think it's what, 104, and then it goes to 113.5 in 27-28.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That's where we're at. And then now the deals started coming in. Remember, it was going to be a great everyone was excited about the possibilities of this next off season with free agents, because you'd have had, Eichel, McDavid, Kaprizov, all these guys. Kyle Connor, well, they're all signing. And that's one thing I'm finding interesting, guys. It seems like the teams are just keeping their own. No one's moving anywhere. But
so, I mean, when we were talking to open up the show about the pandemic, I mean, if I remember correctly, they said the whole reason for, like it was like escrow debt. Like there's I think it was like $1.5 billion in escrow debt that accumulated during the pandemic. And now that's all gone, if I'm correct. And like, so the debt like had suppressed the cap, and now like, in the revenue sharing, but now that's ended. So
I always thought it was funny math anyway, because they were saving money. They didn't have to turn their arenas on, right?
Yeah.
So I always threw the BS flag when I heard that nonsense, and I read that today too, Billy. I'm like, that's kind of fuzzy math that only benefits the billionaires, not the millionaires.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing that the hockey has over no other sport whatsoever, right? These freaking guys want to play hockey. That's all they want to do. That's all they want to do. They would do it year round if you let them, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they do.
They want to play.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just want to get your guys' Kaprizov, right? He's now the highest paid player. 8 years, $136 million, $17 million AAV. That puts him $3 million past Draisaitl. McDavid said, he could have probably had 20. He said, no, I'll take 2 years, $25 million, because I want to win. I want you to have more money so we can try to win here in Edmonton. Your thoughts, both
Which
of
is
you.
admirable. I mean, I said it before with McDavid. I hate to keep beating this drum, but he's got to win a cup. He's got to win a cup. I mean, he has to. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not his fault. Like he has, when you look at these series that he's been in and how close he's gotten, it hasn't been because of him. Like he's the one that carried the team. It's everybody around him failed. You know,
Well,
I
I mean,
mean, he plays. When the stage is,
well,
set.
yeah.
He shows up. He shows up. Like it's not. He's not the problem. You know. Um,
But
I
with
think
all
a
his
change of
efforts,
scenery be best thing for him. But he wants
yeah.
to stay in Edmonton. It's admirable that he wants to take less money, and he wants to he wants the club to be able to retain some of the money that could have went to him in order to get better players around him so they can get this thing to the finish line. That's admirable, man.
Yeah.
Even with all that admiration, William, even with all his altruistic behaviors, it didn't do crap, right? The favorites to win the cup this year, arguably the top three favorites, Florida, Tampa Bay, and Edmonton, they got no money.
Yeah.
They're all over at the cap or above the cap. So everything
Right.
he did doesn't mean squat because they have actually negative dollars to spend. So,
Well, and
yeah.
we say it all the time in our football show. It's kicking the can down the road. It's the same thing in hockey. It's probably more so in football, but it's still kind of that way in hockey. You're kind of like you're financing the present to you're taking away from the future to finance the present.
right, but the NFL salary cap's going up at minimum 3 times the amount that it goes up in hockey. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not to the extreme of that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean,
Still kind of-
honestly, when you go into a season, you have zero money to spend. I mean,
Right.
and I don't know what the penalties are for going over the cap in the NHL.
yeah,
But the teams, I mean, you list the teams that have zero money or close to zero money, and they're all right up there, right? Vegas $0, Devils $0, Florida $0, Tampa Bay $0, Edmonton $0. Toronto has $44,000 to spend, and they're going to have to spend it on pucks because that's not a player, right?
Right.
So it's and then Dallas chimes in with only $304,000. Those are the teams. You look at the top of the teams that have money; they're in the basement.
right.
Chicago, Columbus, Anaheim, Detroit, and Pittsburgh. Carolina's
Right.
sitting pretty because Carolina's a really true contender for the cup, and they've got $11 million to play around with.
And I
That's-
don't get it with that team. I don't understand how that happens. And I don't even understand, and you guys can tell me this and correct me, because I never look at them as being a team that's capable of winning. Sure, they can win that division, but I just don't. They seem so. There's something. I mean, they got killed by Florida last year,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's Frederick Anderson. I don't know what it is, but I never seen. I don't feel like I want to put them there, but they'll be in the conference final maybe every year.
I mean,
But-
you hit the nail on the head right there. They need a keeper. They need a goalkeeper. No doubt about
Yeah,
it.
Anderson was terrible last year.
Yeah.
He was and I get it, John. They're kind of like one of those teams that you look at them on paper and you're like, oh, okay, and then they'll come out of the gate good. They'll have a low in the midseason. They'll finish strong, and you're like, oh man, But then they just fizzle out in the playoffs. They've been doing that for a while. I mean, I thought their best years were when they had Keem Ward. Back in those days. I mean, they were loaded with guys back in those days, and obviously they won it back in 2006 with it even came close in 2002, right, Matt? Whenever they were, they had a pretty good team in 2002. But I mean, I don't know, they're not a team that you think is like Stanley Cup material when you kind of look at them on paper. You just look at them and you're like, okay, it's a decent team,
I mean, they're definitely not sexy, but they're going to be. They will contend in the East.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it.
Yeah, chances are they win that division. I would figure.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys both. Minnesota, were they just handcuffed? I mean, they had no choice but to keep Kaprizov, at whatever cost, because they don't have anybody there. You want to keep your star. So I guess they were. What do you think, guys? Bill, go ahead first.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were handcuffed, but they've been self-inflicted as an organization for a long period of time. This organization has failed on a lot of, I lived up there, and I was surrounded by Wild fans, and they're not happy with the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Bill Guerin. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, some of the things that he's done, I don't know. Like, there's been a lot of I don't know. You would think that organization would. I don't know. I mean, Minnesota's, the state of hockey, right? I mean, they really are. You just would think that. I don't know. Like they just would have more. I don't know what it is. Like they just don't have the.
Well, I mean,
the backing. They just don't have the. But yeah, I mean, that's just too much money for that guy. But they're between a rock and a hard place. They've got nobody, like you said, John. They've got nobody. Who do they have?
Well, as you look at the team, they're rather old, right? So you got the Marco Rossi's of the world, you got Zuccarello, Tarasenko, you got Kaprizov, and they did it. They did it a little funny. They're going to pay him $9 million this year, and then as the cap goes up, his salary is a steady 17 million. So he actually is next year going to be the highest paid. But what's his name in Edmonton has him. Connor McJesus has him this year because he's at 14. I mean, from a marketing aspect, who are you going to market? You're not going to market the older players, right? So you have to have a young stud there. He's 28 years old. I mean, 6 years, I probably would have gone 4. I really would have just, kind of approved the deal. And then, they have goaltending. They have Gustafsson, and they have who's only 27, and they have Jesper, who's 23.
Yeah.
Billy, to your point, they failed. Of course they failed. The freaking Stars went to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
They failed.
No.
And it's different now.
Yeah.
They didn't get that bump that all these, even though they had the same opportunity as these expansion clubs have, they didn't get that miraculous bump like a Golden Knights did, or say the Kraken. They didn't get that, as a new team. For whatever the reason, I don't think Garen was there when they came back, but they really didn't get that.
They came back in 2000,
right? But I'm saying they didn't take advantage of that. Like
well, they didn't have that wasn't set up like that back then. I mean, you look at even like the Thrashers who come in the previous year in '99. The same thing with them. I mean, they had they got a few. They got in the expansion draft, they get like Danny Heatley, Patrick Stefan. They had a couple good guys. From that, from that.
They didn't. What's his name?
Kovalev came later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had Patrick Stefan. I mean, they had Danny Heatley. But I mean,
Atlanta never took off though. That's a weird state.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it again.
Yeah, I don't think they should.
Great name and great uniforms. I love their uniforms. I thought they were really cool looking. Great name, I thought, but I mean, it was just not a.
It's not
a hockey, not a hockey hotbed down in Atlanta. That's for
and
sure.
Then of course I think they only made the playoff one. It doesn't hurt when you're not good.
Yeah, and that was 07 when they went against Brodeur and the Devils and got swept.
Yeah.
If they were good, that's I don't think Nashville's a hockey place either, but they were good. You might know what I mean? They had their run to the cup.
Yeah,
they had their run.
They're a hockey.
I know some people. Sports city, the way that
I think, but what I'm saying is I think they are now. But if that team would have been bad just repeatedly,
right? Definitely. Yeah, I mean, when they first come in '97, they were god awful. I mean, they had who was on there? Patrick Legwand. I think Cliff Ronning played for them for a little while.
Most of the cast-offs.
Yeah, there was a lot of cast. Yeah.
I mean, if the NHL is to expand, I don't know what they're.
David Legwand. That was David Legwand.
If the NHL
with Randy Robitaille, I think played for them.
I remember Robitaille.
Yeah.
They should look to Quebec. Quebec is dying for a team. Quebec could support a team again. If they went Quebec and Hartford, I think they'd be fine. But how big does the NHL want to get? Anybody have any idea what their plans are?
I think it's 2 more. 2 more teams they're talking about.
And then I would definitely go with Quebec and
with Atlanta being one of them.
Atlanta's being one of them. Third time. I cannot believe this.
They can't do that unless they're charging a king's ransom for a franchise, fee.
They want Houston.
And they want Houston, right?
Why?
Yeah. They think they got to be in these big spots, these big markets. It's how Bettman feels.
Not to get racial or anything. I don't know that many Hispanic hockey players. I don't think it thrives in South America. I don't think it does. I don't think.
Yeah, right.
I mean, and the population of Texas is mostly Hispanic at this point. It's changing, right? So they're not. They don't want. I don't know. They have marketers. They have people that do this for a living. And this is
the whole thing with Atlanta, I think, is because of TNT. They do the hockey TNT thing down there. And it's kind of like a media
Yeah, but
hub.
Billy, all those guys are old. They can't play hockey anymore on TNT.
No, I know that, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. Like,
It's on
third
the
time's a
CNN as
charm.
well. Yeah.
Well, I look at it like this. They in Atlanta, they had that Atlanta Spirit group, which was a terrible sports group. They were like the worst, ever. They bought them out, and they just didn't give a damn about them. And it just collapsed. And they said they have had, because they were on the brink of. I mean, they had Kovalev. I mean, they had some good guys there towards the end. Yeah, Dustin Bufflin. You had some pretty, they had some guys. Bobby Holick, played for them towards the end there.
But
Bobby
their attendance was terrible.
Right, their attendance was terrible. But I think if you'd have had a winner there, it might have gotten better. The same thing with Carolina. I mean, you can say the same thing with Carolina.
Oh, definitely.
You moved from Hartford to freaking, Raleigh. Actually, they were weren't they in Greensboro first, and then when the arena was done, I think they did move to Raleigh.
Oh,
but I mean,
I got the point after you, Billy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, my thing is, how about putting another team back in Quebec City? How about looking at maybe even Hartford, and not looking at these southern markets that don't want hockey? I mean. That's my opinion. I mean, the Quebec needs another hockey club.
Yeah,
they've needed it for such a long time.
Really,
I mean, it's unbelievable.
To your point, it's also to your point because we're the best junior leagues all throughout Canada.
Exactly.
Right.
Even put one in Hamilton. Even put a team in Hamilton.
Yeah, Buffalo and Toronto lost it when they almost did that.
Hey, listen, I'm going to say this. You guys know I hate the Vegas Golden Knights with a passion.
Right.
I can't stand them.
You hate.
I mean, listen, I'm a Penguins fan. I like the Flyers more than I like the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I cannot stand the Vegas Golden Knights. I cannot stand them as a French franchise. Cannot stomach them. Don't even like. When I see them on TV, I shut it off. I cannot stand them. They did not need a team in Vegas. I'm sorry. They did not need a team in Vegas. Yep. If you're going to pull a team out of Phoenix, Arizona, you need to pull the team out of Vegas.
And that's a problem. And that's too bad about Arizona. It's too bad they couldn't have been in Phoenix or somewhere because they have one of the best, it seems. Well, not seems, but it's been said in the United States, junior hockey. As far as kids, like little kids, because you get Matthews from there, Nyes, you get all these different guys coming out of Arizona. And no team.
You had in the 70s the Roadrunners, which were very what they were in the WHL, which were very Phoenix Roadrunners, which were a very successful franchise. And I my thing is okay, hockey doesn't work in the desert. They kept saying, okay, well then why you got a team in effing Vegas then?
Because exactly what you just said about Atlanta. Vegas is the home. After they got over the betting thing, Vegas is the best place to be because of the amount of money that flows in there and the tourism.
Well, it's a freaking nightclub. The arena is a freaking nightclub with that happens to have a hockey game going on in the middle of it.
You're right. It's a Vegas show. You're right. Absolutely.
It's such a ridiculous franchise.
And
they were handed.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, and that just pisses me off to no end. That makes me hate them even worse. I just can't. I can't stomach that franchise.
So I was looking at the NHL's the plans as we were talking. So the NHL by 2030 wants to get to 36 teams. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
it gets even better. The expansion fee to buy an NHL franchise is $2 billion. $2 freaking billion. That's outrageous. And then when it gets to here's the top markets. These are the top markets they have so far. Houston is number 1, Atlanta 2, Kansas City 3, Cincinnati 4, followed by New Orleans and Phoenix. So that's why they want to. You're going to get $8 billion freaking dollars from these expansion clubs. $8 billion. Why would you not?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans might actually work though, because you got a lot of French. I know you have a lot of French influence there, and there's a lot of French Canadian transplants down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So that actually might work. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one.
But I mean, go ahead, John.
I was just thinking about Kansas City because I remember the Scouts. I
Yeah.
wonder about them. Cincinnati's interesting too, because really, I can't believe Cleveland never was able to keep. I mean, that team was around for 2 years, I think, the Barons. But I mean,
Yeah.
you would think.
Well, they
you
have a
would
good
think-
Monsters. Cleveland Monsters.
Yeah,
Are a pretty good
Minor league,
AHL team. You know, they're
I'm trying to keep it as east as I can. I guess I'm looking at it like because I can't see to
yeah,
continually move south.
right.
I mean, but
Yeah.
I get it. I know why
Well,
they move
they're also-
south
they're
because that's where the
also-
people are. But
Yeah, they're following the population trends, right? Nobody wants to live in these northern cities. Not only is the weather miserable, the taxes are outrageous. So what
Yes.
do? They move to the Carolinas of the world. They're moving to Texas, Arizona. You know, they're moving south. Everybody's going below the Donna Dixon line. You know,
Just
So-
like Reg Dunlop said, what do those snowbirds down in Florida want?
hockey. Hockey.
No.
Yeah,
One
really
other thing that changed is LTIR. I don't know if you guys saw that, where you have to be now under the cap in the play when the playoffs start.
Mhm.
So that's good. That was a real.
Yeah.
I'm very happy they finally did that. That's how the Knights won.
Yeah.
When they won, they did that. They loaded up with guys, and then Stone magically came back. So yeah, the LTIR is no longer can be abused.
That's
which
good.
is interesting. I mean, because you have to be able to do something with that. But what are you going to do with Florida? You know, when they get their star back right at the beginning of the playoffs, you know that salary is exempt the whole time. They don't have any money to bring him on. And what's the punishment for that? Any idea?
Well, I remember. I know if you're other than not being able to bring players up and like dropping, bringing guys up or down or all that stuff. And if someone gets hurt, you're kind of screwed because you can't bring anyone in. I think that might be the only thing that I think, but
Or they're going to make them carry that salary all year long. Because he's going to be on their books all year long, and that's $10 million.
Barkov, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he comes back, see, that's the thing. That's what I like about this. If he's going to come back for the playoffs, great. But they're not going to have, I don't know who, another $8 million guy they got at the deadline along with him. So, that's good. I mean, that seemed so obvious and went on for so long. I don't know why it took this long to do it. But guys, why don't we get into something? Because we've been away for a while, and I'm thinking, I don't know what you guys think, but I wanted to preview the Eastern Conference.
Let's go, baby.
I wanted to start that. I wanted to go with the Atlantic and the Metro right now. Why don't we start in the Metro? Let's start with that. And for anyone out there who's new to hockey, which I don't think you are, but anyways, remember, it's the Penguins, it's the Capitals, it's the Rangers, it's Carolina, it's New Jersey, it's the Islanders, it's Philadelphia, Columbus. So let's start with you, Bill. Let's talk about the Penguins. Where do you see this going? Where if they were to start out really bad, is this an automatic sell year? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I think that it could potentially be. This is it for Malkin. I mean, more than likely he's going to finish out the season and he's going to be retiring. I don't think he's going to play anywhere else. It was an off season of uncertainty for sure. Just a future surrounding Sid, and everything like that. I don't know. Now you have Dan Muse. You have you have a coach that's good with the youth, and he's coaching the oldest team. So try to make sense of that if you can. But no, I mean, 2 games in, it's a very small sample size. I think that they're looking good so far. One of the things I like about what I've seen in these 2 games, and like I said, it's very small sample size. I like Muse's lineups. His lineups are like really good. I like some of the things that he's doing with the lineups. That more so than what we've seen in the past. I mean, I like Koivunen, Crosby, and Raquel line. I like that line. Right. I like the line of. I tell you what, the line that has impressed me the most is Mantha, Malkin, and Brazeau. I mean, that Brazeau. I mean, look at him. I mean, is just him and Malkin are like. It's just like a match in heaven. I don't know what to say of it. It's been really good.
I got something to say real quick about Brazeau. I would like to strangle Dubas because Brazeau was a Maple Leaf with Dubas, and Dubas didn't want him and let him go. Now he picks him up in Pittsburgh.
Got him
You could
back,
always see the kid was going to be good.
right.
He's big, and he's
yeah.
So he made at least fix that.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think that if things go south, you know, and I don't know that they will. I don't know. I mean, I honestly, we've talked about it in our Pittsburgh show, Ed, right? I mean,
Yes,
it's like we don't know what's going to happen. Like, you just don't know, you know, could they be like a wild card team? Maybe. I don't, you know, I mean, Shilvis, you know, this goalkeeper, I mean, I like what I've seen of him thus far. I still would like to see them unload Jari. I at this point in time, just eat the freaking contract with him. He's not worth it. He's really not worth it. You know, I mean, I mean, I think that listen, if things go south this year and take a turn for the worst, if ever Kyle Dubas needed a excuse to sell and tear it down to the studs, this would be the year to do that. I mean,
right,
in my opinion.
So Ed, what about the Capitals? What do you think? How do you feel about them? I mean, Ovechkin, is it going to be a down year because there's no excitement of going after that record?
100% it'll be a down year. They've got decisions to make. They're not the oldest. They're right in the middle, 16. You know, they're right in the middle of the NHL. I mean, this is his last year. He's going to go home and play in Russia, you know, for a couple more years. You know, they have an exciting. They have a ton of youth. They really do. They're loaded in Hershey. They continue to win the cup. I mean, they've won 16 trophies in the AHL. Yeah. You know, and they have a lot of expiring contracts. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7 expiring contracts. All of them are big names. That would net them, if you include what they have now this year, $3.3 million, and the increase of next year from, you know, with the $7 million or $8 million or whatever it's going to be next year. That could leave them with almost $40 million in cap space if those guys, and they're older, you know, it's Sonny Milano, you know, Duhaime, Ovechkin, you know, Carlson's 36, and then you have Vin Riemsdyk. You put all that together. So, but what Carberry does, and I think other teams should look at this, Carberry was their minor league coach. He was the head coach in Hershey. So he does a great job at the elevator. He really does. He gets players experience, you know, and they're loaded in Hershey. I mean, in Pittsburgh,
yeah, they are.
They have Alexei, the defenseman that Pittsburgh got, who I think is good, but they were just, you know, it was an embarrassment of riches. And then they just, you know, I don't think they're going to contend, but they'll be relevant. I mean, they will. And Alexei Protas, 25-year-old center, is great.
Yeah.
His brother's even better, and he's in Hershey. You know, so they've got talent, and they've got it oozing out. Carberry does a great job with the elevator. You know, they have 2 goalies established. You know, Lindgren's a little bit older, but you got Logan Thompson from, you know, the Knights. So I suspect they'll make the playoffs. But if you look at the Metropolitan Division, Billy, if your team keeps the way they're going and makes some noise, brother, I don't know. I think that this division is not strong.
It's not.
Carolina has got to be the clear favorite. Yeah. Other than that, that's it, man.
Well, yeah. I mean,
everybody's kind of the same team, Billy. They're kind of the same team.
I mean, the Devils aren't you know, doing anything. The Islanders aren't either. I mean, you know, they retooled their front office a little bit and, you know, defense and stuff like that. The Rangers, I mean, look what the Rangers have done. You know, I mean, I'm just not – Columbus doesn't, you know –
nothing.
You know,
Flyers,
nothing.
So after
Flyers,
Carolina,
nothing, yeah.
Yeah, after Carolina, it's going to be probably – I mean, if the Penguins keep going and he's able to use – because it's a unique sport because they're able to use that farm system, right? And it seems – and this is what we talked about in football. If you go like for like you're supposed to your quarterback, if you do that in every level in the NHL, if you go like for like, that's how these teams succeed. You know, it's a branch off the main coach, and it goes. It's like trickle down effect. So I mean, Carolina, I think, is a clear cut favorite, but after that, man, everybody has a choice. Everybody has a chance. They really do, to include the Penguins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Carolina's a tough. They're the clear favorite. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's anybody's. It's up for grabs after that.
I mean,
New Jersey needs to do something because I'll tell you, they came with a lot of hype. I thought the last couple of years with, you know, getting their goalie finally, you know, all the stuff around them, and I'm not quite sure. Are they a 100-point team? You guys think?
Yeah, what the Penguins and the Devils have in common.
What's that?
Penguins are owned by FSG, who has many things going on, right? And it's not the number one priority. And oh, by the way, the Devils are owned by Josh Harris, whose number one priority is the Washington football team. And he has the Sixers, which he should dump. He has the Devils, and he has Crystal Palace. So I mean, that's just he has more interest than he cares about the Devils, right? I mean, they have Liverpool and they have the Sox, and then their F1 team, and they have the NESN network. They don't care about the Penguins. So I mean, they're in the same boat where they could do something, but who's in charge? Who has the passion to make the Devils good?
Right.
Well, yeah, and I said that from the get go, and
we both thought it was stupid.
People just lambasted me, told me I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. FSG is going to be the best thing for them, and it has been anything but. I think that's why Lemieux's he's very. They're trying to get this team. They're trying to get control of this team again, and they shouldn't have gave it up in the first place. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
no, you're totally right.
Did they not care when they sold it, or did they properly vet who was buying it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
These groups never work. You saw it with the Atlanta Spirit Group. Same thing. They got taken over. They got taken over by this Atlanta Spirit Group who owned the Hawks, and they didn't give two. Now I will say something about that. That ended it. I'm glad they have hockey back in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
I just look at it. It's been 15 years. You may imagine that it's been 15 years since they've been in it. It's hard to believe it's been that long since they moved to Winnipeg. But no, I mean, it's just I agree, Ed. You make a good point with that. There's both of those franchises are owned by people that kind of don't put them at the forefront. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have that when you had the Lemieux and Burkle group. You had that was their thing. That was that was the forefront. That was the only thing they owned, the forefront. And these groups, it's just it's like Reg Dunn. I hate to keep putting guys. We were just some freaking rich broad's tax write off.
Exactly. So, same thing with Major League, right? She just wanted to move to Florida with the Sweets.
So are the Rangers and Sullivan? They opened with the Penguins, right?
And lost.
They looked so bad. I was expecting.
Lost last night too.
Yeah.
I was really
last night.
Yeah. And you're really expecting a little more. That was odd. I thought that it's starting this way for them with the new coach. They haven't, Sullivan, of course. They always wanted him. There he is.
Again,
I know he's a Boston guy coaching. The
idea though is that they jumped the gun on that. They didn't let him go through enough. He was not vetted enough by the NHL. They just went and grabbed him right away. You have to have a fit. You have to look if it's going to be a fit. And I don't think they did.
So. You mean with Sullivan?
Yeah. Oh, they grabbed him right away. Yeah,
I mean.
Yeah.
Listen, he was a long tenured coach. I mean, he was a great coach for the Penguins. I mean, back-to-back cups. I mean, he was a brilliant coach back then. But I mean, as we know, guys, the NHL is coaches come and go fast in the NHL. They don't stick around. You don't see long tenured coaches too often. That was kind of a rarity to have a guy like Sullivan stay as long as he did with the Penguins. But, I think it just come down to his philosophy just went stale. And he needed a new change of scenery. I don't think the Rangers was the right fit for him to go to. I really don't.
Let the guy be vetted by the NHL. That's all I'm saying. Let him go through the process like everybody else does. And I guarantee you, coming through that, I don't think the Rangers would have picked him up. I really don't.
Yeah. So we're all convinced Carolina wins this division, most likely.
I agree, yeah.
And I don't know if I can figure out who 2 and 3 is. I really can't.
It's hard. You know what? I said it on our Pittsburgh show. I said, give me till Thanksgiving to see where this division's at. And I can tell you, once we get about 20-something games in, close to 30, I think you'll know kind of where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like for me though, right off the bat, the Islanders and Columbus and Philadelphia are not. They're not. I don't think they will. I'd be stunned
Yeah.
if they're a playoff contention. Pittsburgh, I think, stays in that just because Crosby's there, so I can't say no. So it's
Right.
they could easily get in the playoffs. Sure, Washington, I can't say no for all the reasons you said, Ed.
Yep.
So it's and the Rangers, I don't know. So it's a very. I don't even know who's going to have 100 points. I assume Carolina will be the 100-point team.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you look at Carolina. I think 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 could be very well the Caps and the Pens. I mean,
Could be.
really. I mean, I think Ed, you're spot on when you say the one thing that the Capitals have going for them is they have a fantastic farm system. I mean, that the Hershey Bears, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, the Hershey Bears could probably beat the Columbus Blue Jackets.
or the bottom feeder league or the Ducks.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking when I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Like they're loaded. I mean, like year after year, this team is in the AHL championship year after year. They just have so much talent. They have so much talent. It's like, okay, somebody gets hurt on the Caps. Okay, you got a plethora of guys that can step right in and from Hershey that can step right in, and you're not going to lose much in the way of talent.
Yeah.
Well, let's head over to the Atlantic, where Florida resides. They're obviously the closest thing to a dynasty we've had in a long time. The Maple Leafs are there, the Bruins, Tampa, Ottawa, Montreal, Detroit, Buffalo. And we know, as we were talking about, Barkov is out for 7 to 9 months. And Tkachuk, he'll be ready for the Olympics, and then he'll be back, I'm sure, is how this is going to go. So, he'll be back. Barkov's walking, though. They said, which is surprising, like without crutches. So that's interesting. I don't know what that means. But
No, nothing.
nothing. That's what I kind of figured.
It's
Yeah.
typical. I mean, that's easily can happen. I mean, he didn't have it. It wasn't devastating. It just takes time for rehab. That's all.
And did you see their Stanley Cup rings came out, and on the inside it said, "We apologize for nothing." People thought that was pretty cool, and that's just they have done a great job. There couldn't be a better villain. I mean, they're perfect. I can't stand them as a Leafs fan, but it's perfect. That's a good thing to have me, to have everyone hate a team. I think we've been missing that kind of in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
let's think about this division. So you got Florida, probably even with Barkov out, and you add Lundell in there because he's pretty good.
Yeah.
They haven't missed a beat. Yeah, I mean it's only been a couple games, but they still haven't missed a beat. They're still looking like the Panthers. Is there anything? Do they go backwards at all? Is this the time? Do they regress? Do you think?
You can't take out a start like that and not have some sort of regression. If they don't have regression, then give them the cup now. Because once they get to the playoff, they will literally do anything they need to do to until somebody takes out their stars and steps up, and they just bully everybody. That's all they do. They play right to that line. They straddle line. They go over the line. They jump back and forth over the line like it's hopscotch. So unless somebody is able to stand up to the way they play hockey, forget it. It's over. I think they're just too dominant.
Bill?
Well, I think they have a deep lineup, right? They have a very deep lineup. Is it going to be challenging to maintain their dominance without two of your top stars in Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk? Yeah, I mean it's going to be, but I still think they're going to be in it.
Yeah.
I don't think the philosophy is going to change because of who they're missing.
Yeah,
and they don't. I don't think they don't care if they finish in third or if they're a wild card. Like they have no desire to have to win the Atlantic.
If anything, they probably want to fly under the radar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean it's leaving the door open for some of these other Atlantic teams. I mean, like Tampa Bay, I think, was one of them. I think your Leafs are another one, I mean
Ottawa could be very
Ottawa, yeah, sure.
I mean, Montreal played good against the Leafs, but lost, and then they beat the hell out of Detroit. Yeah, they're good. They just are a little small, but they're good.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that the freaking Ottawa Senators were going to make? I mean, if you would have told me in December last year Ottawa's going to make the playoffs, I mean, I never would have. I mean, they towards the end of the season they went on a tear and were able to really, I don't know. I mean, I tell you what, they may take the next step this year. Travis Green's good too for them.
Yeah.
By the way.
No, he is.
Yeah.
And Allmark stood on his head. Not so good in the playoffs for Allmark, but that's been his issue through the years is playoffs. Ed, what's your thoughts on tell me what you think about the Atlantic.
First of all, it's much better than the Metropolitan this year. It's not close. They have many teams that could. I mean, you just look at the lineups they have. They have 3 legitimate contenders in Florida, Tampa, and Toronto. I think it's going to be. I think Florida's going to dominate it. But you got young teams in there. I mean, Buffalo could emerge. Detroit could maybe emerge with all the talent they have on there. The team I feel the least amount of faith in is Montreal, Les Habitants, because they're not. They can't compete yet. They have money. I think they have the most cap, but they can't really do anything for whatever reason. In a city that is known for hockey, they have not been relevant since the fake COVID shutdown where they forced the Canadian team in the cup. So I just think that it's going to go as Florida goes. Florida's going to win it. I think you're going to get definitely Tampa, definitely the Maple Leafs, and you can't forget about the Bruins with Pastrnak. Pasta can still play. They keep reloading, so it's going to be the more competitive division. But I still look for Florida to win.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. Buffalo got shut out on home ice on their home opener, and I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't think they have no goaltending. They got Alex Lyon and whoever. If UPL plays, he's hurt. He's not hurt. I don't see them making the playoffs. I could say that's one of the teams I put in the thing with the Islanders. That's who they remind me of, is them. They just can't. I just don't see it. I don't know about you guys, what your thoughts are on the Sabres, but I can't see them being. It's been 14 years now, going on 15 for them.
Right, but I mean, they're another team. Do the Pagulas really care about them necessarily, or they just?
Isn't that amazing? When he went, that's what he wanted. It was the Sabres. He cried about Gilbert Perreault.
I know,
right in front of everyone, and he just got lucky. Though, think about his choices: was Kevin Adams and Brandon Beane, and one worked and one really hasn't. So it's kind of, what I mean. He just got super lucky, and he's with the one that wins. But what do you got? And you don't like Montreal. Neither of you guys think Montreal, even though they made the playoffs last year, can add on to that?
I don't think so.
No.
I was looking at their roster. I mean, again, these are not absolutes, right? But I just think that there's too many good teams above them. Really, is when I look at it.
Yeah, and I kind of failed to mention the Bruins too. I mean, I tell you what, I think they're going to be tough. They always are, And this is a Pasternak-led, team now. He's the guy.
I got something. I think they're going to be out of it by Christmas, and they could trade him. I could see them trading him, Pasternak.
Oh, yeah. You don't think they're going to be a?
I don't know. They're using Fraser Minton. They got from the league. I don't know if we'll see. I mean, they still got Swayman. The team's kind of. I think it's actually at the point where they should be thinking about breaking it down.
Sure.
And restarting a little bit. Like that was my opinion of the Bruins. Like
what they do last year with their captain.
Yeah.
Send them to Florida. You got a cup. I can see exactly what you're saying. It's a shame that some teams don't have money because can you imagine Pasta in Edmonton?
That
gets up. That gets them.
Oh yeah, that gets them the cup for sure.
It does.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would. I never even thought of that. That would be a great fit.
Yep.
So I think your playoff teams would be Florida, Toronto, Tampa, and Ottawa.
Probably, right?
Probably, yeah. I would think, yeah. And I don't know if any wild cards are going to come out of the Metro. So you might get 2 out of this one.
Yeah.
Like last year.
Yeah, I don't think because the Metro is just not competitive enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ottawa's could definitely easily be a wild card.
Yep.
And
So-
Montreal wasn't. So someone's got to take that spot. I don't know. Maybe someone from the other division does step in because I don't know if Detroit is. God, the way they've started the season was.
You know,
Yeah, but it's 82. You know.
No. There's 80 more left. That's true.
and it's funny because 3 years ago I was like, watch out for this team in 3 or 4 years. And
Well,
it just hasn't come to.
Yeah.
Bill, we always said it was Ottawa, Detroit, and Buffalo in this kind of race to see who could make it.
Yeah.
And Montreal did, which was surprising.
Yeah, right.
But all right, so who wins? So does Florida have enough to win it though? Win that division?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Because Bobrovsky's still
they're-
standing.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think that is it going to be harder? You know, a little bit more to maintain their dominance. Yeah, I mean, but they still have a deep lineup. I mean, you know, and I tell you what, you say what you want to say. Paul Murray's the hell of a coach.
Yeah. And did you guys? I'm looking forward to it, and I don't know. I knew it. Now I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. I can't wait for Tampa and Florida to play again. Who'd ever thought that would have been the greatest rivalry in hockey right now?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you know, and that wasn't Tampa Bay's got a lot to own up to, and possibly much more incentive than Florida does because they want it back. You know, I just don't want to see another freaking cup in the state of Florida. Give me a break, man.
Oh,
You know? Well, they have the distinct advantage, and we didn't even talk about it. They have the money. They can afford to pay players more. There's got to be something. If these organizations, all sports organizations, don't look at this, or these states with no tax, I mean, they can really win, right? I mean, you're offering people more money essentially, and getting away with it.
Yeah, well, it attracts. Yeah, it attracts more kind of guys. You know, why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know.
Well, you need because if you want to go play in Toronto and you're Marchand at that deadline, he's going to want $9 million there.
Yeah.
He can go to Florida for $6 million. Ekblad just stayed. Ekblad didn't
do anything.
No, he didn't. He didn't want. It's like paradise down there for these guys.
He probably didn't even turn his phone on. He's like, "Why would I leave the beautiful state of Florida, where I'm making more money? You know, it's wide open. It's not like these congested cities in the north. I don't have to worry about weather. I got my convertible and I just drive around. Nobody really knows me here.
Nope.
You know, so yeah, that's why Messi's in Inter Miami. He can go to the grocery store, right? You know,
yeah, no one cares.
Yeah.
And that's that's your great ride. That the fights in the preseason were something else of throwback, about 500 minutes and fines and everything else.
Ridiculous.
I mean, hey, listen, you know, I tell you, Tampa still, you know, they're still got, you know, you still got Vasilevsky, you know, you got Vasilevsky, you got you got Ryan McDonough back, you know, you've got Nikita Kucherov, Stamkos, Braden Point.
No more Stamkos.
Or, I mean, not Stamkos. No, he's
Point.
What am I? Yeah. Point. I mean, yeah.
But you
got Hagel.
Yeah. Stamkos.
Defenseman, Hedman. I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
No, they're still
used to Stamkos being a Lightning.
Right.
So
it is amazing. Yeah, where he's at. When we get into that because next week we'll do the Western Conference.
The West, yeah.
It'll be interesting to think about what Nashville's going to do as far as trading off guys like that, because I eventually they're a little bit Well, I won't get into it now, but I feel like they're arrogant. The Nashville team. That's all. I just feel like they're very arrogant, and I think they may not be able to say that we're going to sell, but they probably maybe should because they got Stamkos and O'Reilly and all that stuff. But
look, you have examples of teams that wait too late to sell and flip the roster over. I mean, you have to. It's a fine line, but you have to have the courage to do it because it does not last forever.
All right, guys, we should wrap it up. I know we all think Carolina and Florida will be the winners of their division.
Yep.
And does anybody think Florida doesn't win this conference?
Not me.
Not me.
I know it's hard to.
I know. Not me.
Stanley Cup again.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I think.
Definitely the conference championship. I think that whether or not they're over the demons are going to be exercised by Carolina, I don't know. Or say Tampa will beat them early on, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what the Leafs can do, but sadly, they had them on the ropes last year.
Oh,
they had them at 3, and the game 3 up 2-1 going into the third. They'd have been up 3-0 after that, and that was even after they knocked Stolarz out.
Yep.
So They had their best chance. It's really kind of sad, and now Marner's gone, so whatever. All right, guys, this was a great pocket. First one we've done in a long, long time. Our new, free agent is going to be here with us all the time, which is cool, Ed. And Bill, you're always here, so we'll be back next week. You know what? We'll have to work on when we're. Is this going to be our set time? I guess we'll talk and we'll let it out there to the public what our set time is going to be. So I'm not sure.
I'm good with it.
All right.
So,
I'm good. I mean, I do travel a lot, but I mean, I have every Friday off, so I should be able to be wherever I am before.
All right, cool. All right. So next week, same time, same place, pocket. We'll be back, and take care, guys.
Hooah.